This is U1 C3.L5 dividing integers. Here's Mr. Romanovich.
That's my problem. I'm having too much fun teaching math. Okay, so at the top of your paper, you're writing this. You could put the video too, that wouldn't hurt, but dividing integers, that's what we're doing here. And I can divide integers. That's pretty straightforward for our target. Here's 3 sample problems that by the end of this, hopefully you can do. If not, come tomorrow. We'll be prepared to talk about them and find some common ground and understanding with them. So rule one is going to be the same as multiplying integers in that when we divide a positive by a positive, when we divide by the same sign, we end up with a positive answer. And consequently, when we divide by the same sign, if we divide a negative by a negative, we also end up with a positive answer. So same sign, positive answer. And what we'll see is dividing integers with the same signs is, did you already write it in? Because you wrote this as your first big note, right? You have this kind of like as a graphic. And then this is your big note, dividing integers with the same signs, and that equal sign is positive. That's not too tough. So when we look down here at our examples, we have negative 27 divided by negative 3. You know 27 divided by 3 is 9. I like to do the math first, then I check the signs. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Negative divided by negative means positive. So the answer is 9. Here we have 100 divided by 4. I know that's going to be 25. Then I check the signs. Positive, positive, same signs, positive answer. Here's rule 2. This is where it gets exciting. So now we're looking at a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive. So now we're looking at 2 different signs as our divisor or dividend or numerator and denominator. And what we'll find is that if these signs are opposite, the answer will be negative. A positive divided by a negative is negative. A negative divided by a positive is also negative. It's kind of the inverse of multiplication, where if we were multiplying these 2 together, we get a negative. We're multiplying these 2 together, we're getting a negative. Likewise, when you divide those 2, the opposite signs, you get negatives. So you have this little graphic down here. And if I'm going too fast, pause. Then you have this note, dividing integers with different signs is equals negative. Let's look at the examples. Negative 47 divided by 7. I always do the math first. 49 divided by 7 is 7. Then I check my signs. I have a negative and a positive. Different signs, negative answer. Here we have 16 divided by negative 4. Math first. 4. Positive sign, negative sign. Different signs means negative answer. These are exciting. So now we're just substituting in for x and y. So when you see something like this here, 15 divided by y, here we know y is negative 5, so we're just going to plug that into our expression here. Negative 5. I do the math first. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then I check back. I've got a positive and a negative, which means that's negative. Right? Because negative 3 times negative 5 would be positive 15. You learned that in the last video. Here we have x times y divided by 10. That's going to be fun, right? So x is 8. Y is negative 5 divided by our negative 10. So order of operations says, since we just have one operation level here, multiplication and division, we just start at the left and go to the right. So we have negative 5 times 8 is negative 40 divided by negative 10. And I do the math first. I know 40 divided by 10 is 4. Then I check the signs. Negative divided by a negative. Same signs, positive answer. The answer is 4. Then lastly, in this example, we have this one, negative 64 in our numerator and x in our denominator. So let's rewrite it using substitution. Negative 64 divided by 8. There's our 8 right there. Math first. I know 64 divided by 8 is 8. And I know a negative divided by a positive, opposite signs, means that's negative. Just to check it, I know negative 8 times positive 8 gives me negative 64. Let's see if I can double board this here. There we go. That was pretty good. So now, can you hit the target? Make sure you get these down, because tomorrow, this is where we'll start our discussion with these problems. Work these problems as best you can, and then we'll work them in class first thing the next day. For number 1, we have 20 divided by negative 4. That's a negative 4. Then we have 81, positive 81 divided by positive 9. And then we have evaluate this. We have b in the numerator, a in the denominator. B is equal to negative 33, a is equal to negative 3, and solve that. Okay? If you have any questions, please ask me. Please ask Ms. Benoit. You can rewatch this video. You can email me. Maybe you can email Ms. Benoit. I don't know. That's up to her. Good luck.